Hello, all you awesome people out there. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. It's me, as always, your boy GeekViz Hoover, and we have here another edition of an I Just Watched, where I give my impressions on a show, a movie, that I just watched. And of course, as always, you know we's very far behind. But in this version of this episode, we're gonna be talking about season 4 of. That's right, the 4th season in Amazon's adult animated classic series. What I think, well, I guess we're gonna find out. I have to find out. Watch this, but this season was this season was something. This season was very good, very good season. So of course, if you're new to all this, we're gonna talk about the show. We're gonna talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, my general thoughts, overviews of the show, along with some important elements, what's in store for the future, and most importantly, just my general in-depth thoughts of the show. Not a review in the normal sense, but you know it is just gonna be me just yapping about the show here for a minute. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get into the show then, shall we? Just as soon as I fucking fix my shit, there we go. All right, there we go. All right, so Invincible season 4 aired on, of course, Amazon Prime Video. It was available from March 18th to April 22nd. The show is written by Robert Kirkman, Robert Otley, and Corey Walker. I forgot to put my music on. There we go. Real smooth shit. Show's written by Robert Kirkman, Ryan Otley, Corey Walker, and Ryan Recopia. The show had directors Sol Choi, Ian Abando, and Jason Zurich. And the show stars a plethora of top-tier talent. We got Steven Yeun, Sandra Oh, J.K. Simmons, Walton Goggins, Gillian Jacobs, Zachary Quinto, Seth Rogen, Clancy Brown, Christian Convery, Tatiana Maslany, Peter Cullen, and Lee Pace. So that's our cast show. And let's go into some important things about the story. But season 4 of Invincible finds us finally getting to the war against the Viltrumites. The coalition is fully formed. Nolan, Alan the Alien, Mark, and Oliver, along with a plethora of other allies, finally decide it's finally time to take the fight to the Viltrumites for fully and in force. And well, it kind of works. It kind of works in the end. But yeah, that's mostly what season 4 is about. But let's gotta go into some other elements and details that kind of happen in this season. Some important elements to sort of take note from this season. So in this season, pretty much on the course here, Mark faces a plethora of mental and emotional distress throughout the season here, which is of course par for the course. That's pretty much what happens in every damn season. So after the ending and the events of season 3, he's kind of decided to take on the stance that he is not going to be taking many chances from this point out. But he still does struggle with pulling that trigger sometimes. One of the biggest moments happens is when the Mars aliens, yes, still around from fucking season 1, the little aliens from Mars, they arrive on Earth. There's a small little invasion in a town, and in order to stop them, Mark has to off the host, the main host of the aliens, who sort of causing all the problems. There's a lot going on. The Guardians of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Goddamn, the Guardians of the Globe were there. They had this shield erected to keep them from spreading, but the shield was going out. They were kind of running out of time, so Mark, in a snap decision, decided the best course of action in that moment was to take out the host. But it didn't really sit well with him either, though. So don't take that for the way it was. But it was a moment that he had to sort of contend and live with after that. And it wouldn't be the first time he's been dealing with that too. That will come up repeatedly throughout the season here. Another thing that happens throughout the season are Eve's powers. Her powers are starting to fail. Her constructs don't hold up. They tend to liquidize and come apart fairly easily and fairly quickly. So that's kind of like the biggest issue for her. It kind of makes her worried to use her powers. She kind of worries what her future's gonna be. So that's like her biggest thing this season. Also she's pregnant. That's also that's also a pretty big thing for for her this season as well. But yeah, Eve does play a pretty significant role in this season. Next up, another thing that I thought was pretty cool. Nolan finally returns to Earth, facing Mark and Oliver for the first time in a very long time. But most importantly, his first time facing Debbie. For the first time all the way since season 1. So that's a big thing, and that of course does not go as well as he thought it was gonna go. Maybe thought it could have went, but yeah, that was a big thing too. Another really cool thing I liked about this season is that we finally got a lot more history on the Viltrumites and Viltrum in this season as well. We find out that there was actually like this bioweapon that happened, and that is actually the main thing that sort of really cut down their numbers. It was a virus. It wiped out nearly over half of the Viltrumite population in the past. But it was after this. That's when the choice was made, because we got this part in the story before, that they sort of went with this cull the weak sort of mentality, and they went through a while where they were just fighting each other and offing one another, and it was like whoever was left was deemed to be the strongest, and those were the ones who were meant to carry the Viltrum Empire and the Viltrum name. So that came actually after that virus. So that's why the Viltrum population is so small, because that's what happened to them after the virus, and then that personal purge. That's why there are so little of them left. Another cool thing was Alan and Nolan. They went around gathering all of the items and individuals that are capable of harming Viltrumites. I think this was season 2. It was mentioned that the books Nolan writes, he been dropping hints in there of some of the aliens and things he experienced on his adventures as a Viltrumite. A thing that he learned he could actually harm Viltrumites. There was that gun, the Space Rider, whatever the fuck his name was. There's this alien species that can hurt Viltrumites. So him and Alan went around collecting all of those to assist in their war for to go up against the Viltrumites. And then of course, I gotta mention it. He's gonna pop up a few times in this review, but we got to, Thrag. Thrag was like the fucking MVP of this season, bro. I'm telling you. The stories was true. The stories was true. They was right about this nigga, man. They was right about him. He beat the fraud allegations. There's an episode that happened early in the season where it was like his first appearance, his first time like facing the others. He was his first time like facing Mark and Nolan and the coalition, and it was the first time us as the audience got to see him in action. And there was some fraud allegations thrown his way that maybe he wasn't about that. Maybe he wasn't as bad as motherfuckers said he would turn out to be. But in the end, it turned out it was right. He was that nigga. He beat them allegations wholeheartedly. So all right, so yeah, some other details and elements to really kind of put in there. So let's kind of go into some things I liked about this season so far. And we're just gonna keep on going with the train, man. Thrag. We spoke about Thrag. If you couldn't notice for what I just said, then yeah, Thrag is definitely one of the top reasons to get into this season. I can't say enough how fucking cracked this dude is. It's crazy. Y'all might have seen the memes. I feel like it's been a while since Invincible was back into the meme zeitgeist. but that definitely got accomplished here. I feel like it's been since the Think Mark Think back in season one. But if you're seeing the where he's chasing down Mark, Mark has that little afraid face. Yeah, that came from Thrag. But Thrag was just great here. Lee Pace also did a really good job in his performances in this as well. But yeah, it was all just really good shit here. Another thing I liked, as much I feel like I said this way back in my season one review. For as much as I feel that Steven and J.K. Simmons get for their performances in the show, I feel like every season Sandra Oh just gets like one scene in a season that just has me just like in awe. Like the whole scene of her confronting Nolan for the first time was fucking great. Oh man, it was such an amazing scene for her. Such a great thing to see. And like I said, Sandra Oh just her performance in that whole thing was fucking great. Really pulled at the heartstrings in that performance too. But man, she killed it in that one. I must admit. So hey, props to Sandra Oh for that performance there. Another thing I really liked was the finale, the finale of the season. I thought the finale was really great. It didn't end on like a huge fight, like with Nolan season one, or Angstrom or Conquest. It didn't end with anything like that from the previous seasons. This one legitimately just ended in just a conversation. But the whole final episode didn't really have any combat, really. I think it was like a brief moment at like the start, but that was basically it. It was just a conversation. But that discussion was like no less like threatening or ominous like it would be if there was an actual fight or a battle that ended the season. But I really enjoyed the closing moments of this season as well. Also, really kind of shapes up and changes the status quo. Definitely, it's going to be something to really makes me think of what turns we could take next season. Is it going to be a big focus? Are they going to take a season where it kind of is just sitting in the background and we have a whole entirely different focus for season 5? It kind of really got me thinking about what lies in store for that in terms of that. Now there was one episode. I feel like this is a commonality of Invincible. There's like one episode a season that kind of takes us out of like the narrative. Like last season, it was that time travel episode where Mark had to travel into the future with them two twins. But this one had one as well. This one focused on Mark having to go into hell and help out Damien Darkblood, who again a character we haven't seen since season 1 of the show. But I really did like this episode. I understand it really wasn't for everybody, but I really do like. I really did enjoy this episode quite a bit. I do enjoy more like world building focused episodes. It can be a little annoying because it does kind of take us out of like the flow of everything going on in the main season to have these randomly placed episodes that do nothing but really kind of tease things for the future or tease things that are coming much later. Because if you remember, this episode was literally just a payoff of I want to say it was back in season 1. Where Cecil had Damien sent back to hell, but I think it was shown that Damien was alive, he was fine, and that he was working and doing something else. They had their eye on somebody for something or something. But this was a payoff of that. So there are moments where the show kind of has these things where it kind of like it's not going to be paid off until later in the season. Like last season, what does this whole thing with Immortal mean from last season? He dropped a couple hints, some kind of sickness. He has to go out into space. He leaves him behind. So there were some teasers for that last season. What does that exactly mean? We're gonna have to wait and see. Yeah, a few other things here. Market Conquest go at it yet again. They go at it for round two. Um, and in this one, Mark, I don't know, I still don't know how I feel about spoilers and this shit, but they go at it one again. And Mark makes sure he finishes his job, like I mentioned earlier, that Mark really is not taking chances anymore. So he does finish the job with Conquest fully this time. And like when it was happening, they do this whole thing of like the entire scene is just silence. There's no music, there's no sound, there's no nothing. It's just eerily silent. And it's just so eerie and creepy, but it still makes you feel like the seriousness of that moment. Fucked up moment, fucked up visuals too. Like, yeah, like I visually like cringed and grimaced at like what's fucking happening in that scene. It's extremely visceral, but God damn it, it was so damn good. And finally, such a fucking long list of shit I like about this. So, but finally, another thing I like, I could have put this in like the little extra things, filmmaker notes or some shit, but I wanted to bring it up here. We'll have a little bit of. Actually, no, we talked about it much about what I like. We'll save it for like the filmmaker thing, but I do like it. So yeah, it was everything I liked. Everything I didn't like. If you couldn't tell by how long the damn list of everything I liked was, honestly, not very much. I struggled to think of some something, but I did bring up one thing. Kind of touching back on the whole teasing things for the future type thing. There was one episode, I think it was the first episode actually. This character, her name was Universia, I think. She was voiced by Denai Guerrero from The Walking Dead and the Black Panther movies. She appeared in only that one singular episode. And then, Mark and Eve beat her, and she was never fucking seen again. And I didn't get like what the hell the point of it was. It was just very weird. It was a very weird thing to do for her to not to pick up it, for her not to even show up anymore. And from her dialogue, it seemed like she was teasing something else. Like this might be, actually now that I think about it, this could possibly be the main focus for next season, is whatever the hell she had going on. She teased something was going on with her planet. They thought she was a villain, but it turns out maybe she's just trying to help her planet and she's just kind of going about it the wrong way. So maybe that could be the focus for next season. But again, it's one of those things where like elements and characters or storylines that are meant to be paid off in the future. And this is one of them, I feel. And it was definitely it could definitely be viewed as a very throwaway thing. They at least got it done very early, which is why I think like the Hell episode was kind of viewed as so much of a filler for a lot of people because it came in like the middle of the season. But still, that's kind of like the one negative thing I got for this. Dinosaurus is one too, I think. He was a character that debuted in this one. He's teased to be coming up in the next season. He was also talking some shit that I didn't fully understand what it could mean. I think it was intentionally made that way. But again, I think he's also a character that's supposed to be meant to be paid off in the future. All right, so filmmaker notes. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is going to be what I liked, but I put it in this episode. I put it in this section. But Thaddeus, who is the Viltrumite leader of the coalition fighting against the Viltrumites, known as the betrayer amongst the Viltrumites, he is voiced by Peter Cullen, the infamous voice actor who is synonymous and well known to be voicing Optimus Prime. He's voiced Optimus Prime for decades at this point, all the way back to the G1 Transformers, all the way up until the fucking live action movies and Transformers Prime and shit like that. But he is synonymous as the voice of Optimus Prime. And in the Viltrumite flashbacks, we get introduced to Argyle, who was the previous Grand Regent before Thrag took over. Thaddeus killed him, but it actually turned out that fucking Argyle is voiced by Frank Welker. And if you don't know, Frank Welker is also a longtime voice actor, and who's also known and very popular for voicing Megatron from the G1 Transformers. So I thought that was pretty fucking cool that they had Peter Cullen voicing him, and then to voice the Argyle, who's basically, the guy he killed, his enemy. They got Frank Welker to do it. The guy who voices Megatron, the infamous enemy of Optimus Prime. So I just thought that was a pretty cool little touch, pretty cool little secret thing they threw in for that one. All right, up next, Future of the franchise. Season 5 is confirmed. They put a little post up. They put a little post of it up. They confirmed the voice acting is already done. They confirmed some characters who are coming back. Dinosaurus, that's what I said. I believe he was too. They already confirmed it. I think they said Thrag was on there too. Conquest is not coming back for season 5. So yeah, we do know we're getting season 5, and it is happening. So there you go. So my final thoughts. Maybe a final score for season 4 of Invincible. Season 4. I'm gonna say it point blank off rip. This is the best season of the series we've gotten so far. The payoff of 3 seasons of build up, all leading to this, and it just makes everything feel so much heavier, so much more serious. Honestly, it feels like it marks the end of the first massive major arc that's been happening of Invincible. Everything that was teased since the very end of season 1, where Nolan finally revealed who he was, where he came from, and what his true intentions were. Everything from then on felt like it led up to this. And that includes every villain and every final boss Marcus had to go through to get up to this point. Really does really makes what Thrag does so much more. It makes it feel so much more. It makes his presence feel so much more impactful in this season as well. And for a wannabe writer and creative, this is one of those things that just kind of like low key is like kind of inspiring. It's like so much of what they've done in the past, all the seeds, all the power scaling, all the enemies, all the storyline, all of everybody's, character reinventions, from Alan just being introduced as just this comedic guy to now he's like, he levels up by the end of this. Nolan sort of getting turned around. All of that shit, just all this massive payoff, just all feels so damn good. But also just the performances. I mean, like the animation, the writing, all of it is just top tier. I still feel like a lot of people are sort of talking about how simple the animations can kind of be. I don't think it works in its favor because it allows them to make the action so much better. They don't, you don't have to. It's very basic because when you make things basic, it means it gives you more opportunity to sort of stretch things when you need to. And you don't have to worry about, the fucking budget being too goddamn much. And you can make the action feel that much better because the animation can be pretty damn simple. So you don't have to make it too goddamn complicated. It was also good. Even for me, even the filler episode for me was good. Like I said, for me at least, I understand if it wasn't for everybody else. I can understand that it might be on a low point for others. I did enjoy it, but I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue against you if you felt like it was probably the lowest episode of the season. I would even probably agree with that myself. But the little background future tease elements are a little annoying and can take you out of it. But this season was just so well done. I feel like it doesn't hamper the entire season too much. And again, a very status quo changing ending. We'll have to see what that has in store for the future, what it means for our characters. What does it mean for next season? Are we still going to be doing the Viltrumite stuff? Are we moving on to something else? How long does it take until we may see the negative effects of this so-called? You know what's so interesting about that episode is that Mark says in that Hell episode, he thinks he could never make a deal with the devil, no matter how enticing or how much it could seem like, how much good it seemed like you could do by making a deal with it. And by the end of the season, he does exactly that. So it makes me wonder, how long until we see the negative effects of this deal with the devil? Are there any positive effects that could actually come along with it? again, we already have proof of concept. Nolan, Omni-Man. We see what happened to him after spending so much time on Earth and how it does truly affect him. Could that be the same for the other Viltrumites? Any other Viltrumite? It remains to be seen. But yeah, I think this is the best season of Invincible so far. Very excited to see what comes next. Excited to see if they can keep it up. You know, is this our climax season? Does everything low key just kind of come down after this, or will it be able to remain kind of steady? Is this the magnum opus season? We'll have to wait and see whenever season 5 drops. But anyway, that's it for this impressions. I just watched Invincible season 4, and that was all my thoughts on the show as a whole. Let me know what you thought of the show. What did you think of the Damien Darkblood Hell episode? Any other important things you know that I might have missed in this? What was things you liked? What was things you didn't like? Let me know down in the comments below. Anyway, I have a lot more shows to finish. Daredevil Born Again season 2 just finished. I still gotta watch that. I think I got like 3 episodes left, so we gotta watch that. And of course, right after that, Punisher: One Last Kill came out. The Boys series finale airs this fucking week. So again, I'm also like 3 episodes behind on that, but including the final. So I'm 2 episodes, and then the final episode. So I got to catch up on those 2 as well. And after that, I'm pretty much free. I think after that, we're gonna get back into some movies. I got some game stuff I got to do. I got to write my impressions on Pragmata. We got coming. Fucking 007 comes up. I think 007 fucking also drops next week. God damn it. But yeah, we got Pragmata. I gotta do my impressions on that. I gotta catch up on some movies, mostly the Mario and Mortal Kombat movies. We gotta catch those. But yeah, so I might be free from TV, but now it's time for fucking movies to take over. Shit, after we fucking finish all that. But anywho, that's it for me here. Thank you all so much for watching. I very much do appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, all that good basic YouTube shit. Help your boy out. Don't let the black man fail. You know, I'm trying over here, Sharon. I'm trying. But anywho, until next time, everybody, I will speak to you all later. Always remember to stay watching, stay playing, stay safe, and of course, most importantly, it's supposed to be stay safe. But I'm gonna just say, most importantly, stay awesome out there. Until next time, everybody. Deuces.